knocking at the door, then I'm gone. Noise keeps rocking through the floor, it's the song. News keeps talking, we at war like it's on, then I'm on another hunt. The act of it is such a rush. Basically, what I want to talk about on this podcast is my new project, Killer Joe 2. Killer Joe 2 is produced by my man MyneFrame MVE, my man Serge, shout out to him. He's a good dude. He made Killer Joe 1, we put that out a few years ago, and he wanted to put something out on Halloween. So we started doing some work, and next thing I know, I got some, we almost got a project together. I shot a video for a song off there with Movie Mike and the homegirl Lilith Dior, shout out to her. It's called Witch's Brew. That was like the first single, but the project couldn't come out on Halloween because my partner over here come home. And once he came home, I had to put him down, like I figured Killer Joe 2, perfect way to like get him back into the fold. So it's gonna take a little longer than expected, and now it's almost Christmas, so I think we're gonna drop that shit around Christmas time.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah.
I like to just tell y'all that the project is completed. It's been finished. We mixed it, did everything we need to do. So, you're gonna hear MyneFrame again, and it's been a long time since you heard MyneFrame on a record.
Hell yeah. And I ain't really stopped either. I've continued to write this entire time. So.
Yeah, his sword is still sharp.
Yeah. So
the thing about Killer Joe is, I wanted to do a little talking about it though, just because people will take things out of context these days. And so Killer Joe is kind of like a concept album. It's based on a movie, Killer Joe, Matthew McConaughey movie.
Great movie.
He's just a psycho in it. He's a detective that is like a paid killer. He'll kill people for money. And I just thought that was a great alter ego for me to take on, especially lyrically. So it kind of gives you, when you're an artist, if you want to say crazy shit, it gives you a outlet and a way to be able to do that, you know what I'm saying? And so that it's not really E-Fluent saying all that shit, it's Killer Joe. So that's like my alter ego. And
shows your level of creativity ultimately as an artist as well.
Yeah, because we gotta switch it up and keep shit fresh for us, So Killer Joe, he's not a very nice guy. And not only that, but it's also kind of like a commentary on where we are as a society, how fucked up things are, how bad things can get. And so Killer Joe comes out when he's needed, you know what I mean, basically. So I got my man over here on some tracks, and he understood the concept. He got it right away, It was
got into my Heath Ledger role, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was no issue for him. We might end up shooting a video for it.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
Talk about what can people expect that's a little bit different from the first Killer Joe in the style?
Well, the difference is between this one and the first one, I feel like Serge really stepped it up with the beats, first of all. Every beat on there, there's like 11 tracks, they're all fire. Like, I'm really proud of him, and he gave me all his hottest shit, you know what I mean? So, shout to him for that. And as far as concepts and stuff, I feel like we tell a few stories in there. We take it a little further than the first one. You know what I mean? There's a lot of chaos, but it's melded together pretty nicely. I had a tough time sequencing the record. Usually I don't. Usually that's real easy for me. This was a little tougher. Luckily I had him guesting on some songs because it made it easier to put the order together. But basically it's just very high quality rap, It's not like some shit that you're gonna go sit down with your girlfriend and listen to and make love to. It's not that kind of music. It's aggressive, and it is what it is.
Half the time it's something, it's hard to even want to show somebody. It's just something you gotta almost, you almost gotta have that creative way to think. To where you can appreciate the entertainment value of what's happening.
Because there's a lot of killing in it. I do some killing in it. To me, it's my therapy outlet because I'm such an old school man. I don't believe in going to a therapist, wasting my money and shit on the nonsense. I know what's wrong with me. I know I got a lot of issues. So this is a way for me to get that out
and you know, I kill and murder and maim and torture and do all that stuff, but that's not really me. That's, you know, it's just the outlet. It's just the artistry of it all. And it's stupid that I even have to say that at this point in my career. But people are so fucking stupid now, they can't separate the music from the artist. And another thing is that fucking RICO trial going on right now with Young Thug and all them, they're pretty much saying anything that you say can be literally used against you in a court of law, even in your fucking songs. So it's like, I have to make these disclaimers, like obviously the shit is fantasy, you know what I mean? And it was supposed to come out at Halloween
But don't
time.
get it twisted. At the same time.
Don't get it twisted. I will wear your skin for, you know, I'll wear it around my house. I'll fucking put it on.
Ed Gein shit.
I'll put it on in the shower. I will do crazy things to you, but. You know I'm just fucking with you, but it's just a disclaimer that we have to put out. And like I said, it was gonna come out on Halloween. It was the perfect time for that. But now we're gonna switch it up and we're gonna put it in your Christmas stocking. So basically, Killer Joe 2 on the way. Check out that Witch's Brew video.
Very good video, by the way. I really, really love the
cool.
feel of it, you know?
Yeah, we try to make it look like some old 90s shit.
Can you talk about it a little bit? Like,
yeah, it was a good video shoot. Me and Movie Mike shot that shit with Lilith Dior. It was real easy. We made it, I rented a place downtown, but it looked like it was like kind of like a rustic, you know what I mean, environment. Like it could be a cabin or some shit. And it was just a real easy process, a quick shoot. That was the second time she did a video for me.
What was the concept of the song exactly? I mean,
sorry.
I kind of know, but you know.
Yeah, my bad. It's about, basically, I get captured by a witch and I drink, well, she seduces me into going for a drink with her, and she spits in the drink, and everybody know if a witch spits in the drink that it's poison, you know what I mean? You be under the spell. So I drink it, and then I wake up, I'm tied up, you know what I mean? So I gotta escape, and it's funny when I watch it, I call it the Scared of Pussy video. Running away, cause she's like, you know, she got me tied up, she's all prettied up, you know, waiting on the bed, and I'm just trying to fucking get out of there and running away for my dear life. So it's the Scared of Pussy video. It's a good video. It's cool.
Scared of the witches though, really.
Movie Mike and the man, Mick the Man, they put some wild filters on it, so it looks like a VHS, you know. It's cool.
I love that part of it, honestly.
It's cool looking.
Very vintage.
Yeah, it's a good video, so shout to them and make sure y'all watch that. And we might shoot something else for Killer Joe too, but it's just a quick little joint to, you know, basically reintroduce Frame and get him back out there, because we got some other shit on the horizon, like Both Sides of the Coin 3, and that's, you know, that's gonna take top priority in 2024.
Absolutely.
We already did one song so far from it, and Will Slater made the beat.
Flip that whole,
Will Slater.
Man, Will Slater is ill on the boards, man.
I wanted to say too, shout to Will Slater for that Legend Cypher, the 6 So Lucky Cypher, all that shit that he did. You know, I just appreciate him looking out and doing the history of the area and stuff like that. But, you know, in my personal opinion, I'll say it right now, because everybody watches. When I talk and say shit, nobody likes to like my shit. They don't like to give me no props, but everybody watches or whatever the fuck I say. So one thing I will say is, everybody did their thing on that 6 So Lucky Legend shit, and that's cool. And people say there's people that were left off that should have been on there. And in my opinion, it's just me, you know, I don't care, it's just my opinion. But I think that Blizz the illest is the nicest.
Dude.
I don't even know, I don't have Facebook or nothing, so I don't even know.
So true, though.
I don't think he's really ever put many projects out, but every time I ever did a song with that motherfucker, he smokes my boots. He's the only one, and I'm not gonna front. Sometimes he'll get on a song after he already heard my verse. I didn't know he was gonna be on it, so that's kind of cheating, but there's a couple tracks, like Cosmetic Cocaine comes to mind.
That's a great
he
song.
He smoked me on that shit, and I knew he was on it. Like, so, in my opinion, he should have been on that cypher. I don't even know if he like raps like that now, like, cause I don't know what's going on in the area, but
I do got one thing to say though.
I fuck with his verses. He's nice.
Why not have more than one podcast about because there's so many talented people out here.
Oh, yeah.
Blizz is really, I mean, I went to school with Blizz, you know what I mean? And like, he was older than me. And like, when I was growing up, everybody was telling me like, this is the dude to listen to in the location that I was in, you know? And I always looked up to him, you know what I mean? Even though he was just a little bit older than me, because his level of like intellectual like creativity, as well as being able to put it all together the way that he does.
He just rap real good, bro.
Yeah.
He writes real good raps, you know what I'm saying? Like, his shit is the only shit that I can admit that he's the only one that ever has beat me on a track, in my opinion. So I think he should have been on there. And, you know, just doing the history, there's a lot of people I would shout out, like Adasa Tariq. Obviously, you would consider him a Pittsburgh rapper and producer and artist because he's spent most of his adult life there, but he's from here and he's one of the nicest. Like, don't get it twisted, especially production-wise. Yeah. Huge influence on me in my career.
Inspirational.
Yeah, and also Dev Hampton.
Oh man,
yo,
how can you forget?
I don't even know. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I don't know what he's doing. I'm sure he's doing good things though, because he's always been very talented. And I remember he used to record me at his fucking grandma's house on Moffett Ave when he was in high school for like $7 an hour.
That's awesome.
And he had like posters of Lupe and Kanye on his wall. And then fast forward in the time, and he made Lupe's probably best track ever, fucking the Mural Beat. And so that, just seeing that, like, seeing shit like that is so beautiful and inspirational. And
it can be done.
I haven't talked to him in years. I don't even know what he's into, but like, as far as legends from the 607, that kid is a legend. To me, he's a legend. And Adasa Tariq especially. So those are a couple cats I would bring up.
Butter Goins. I mean, I'm not gonna go through it, but yeah.
Butter Goins, shout to Butter Goins. Yeah, Butter Goins, honestly, is one of the first cats that brought me into the scene, like, and took me to studios when I was 17 years old, shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, so shout to him, big time.
Big time.
There's a lot of people that I feel like weren't, you know, maybe, and a lot of these people probably don't even make music anymore and stuff like that, but at a time they did make music and they were very influential to people, especially people like me. And I still make the music, so I just want to shout them out, you know.
And it shows their impact.
Yeah.
Even if they're not doing something right now, it shows the impact, and I'm sure they still is that person.
Right, because there's just a lot of talent out here, and a lot of it gets overlooked and stuff like that. I would like to do something different besides just rap too, you know, but you never know. I'm about to hook up with my man Nick from the gyms. Remember the gyms?
Oh man, what, the trash bar out in Brooklyn?
Yeah. Shout to my man Nick.
That was a fun time, dude.
I'm do some kind of side project with him. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but it's gonna be something fun.
Is that bar even open anymore?
Nah, man, R.I.P. to that bar.
Yeah, facts.
R.I.P. to New York City, bro. It's fucking it's the trashiest garbage now. I go down there, shout to all my people down there, shout to Fast Life, shout to fucking Lame Wolf, shout to fucking Papa Nix. Those are my people.
Stevie
That's my
Z,
family.
baby.
That's my family. I love them to death. But that fucking place is a graveyard, bro. Every time I go down, it's some nonsense. I don't even go down much anymore, but when I do go down and I see my people, I always have a good time. They show me a good time. They're real gangsters, you know what I mean? Facts. So that's the real deal. So I enjoy seeing them, but I don't know, bro. Honestly, I'm getting to be an old man. I want to retire and move to the beach.
Right. Play golf on Cocoa Beach or some shit.
Yeah. I used to do stuff like that. Shout out to all my people down in Cocoa Beach. Shout out to Bourbon, you know, Swerving Bourbon.
That Florida salute, but you don't want to do prison time there because they ain't got no fans or air conditioning.
Yeah, it's terrible. Woo. My family had to go there for a little bit and told me it was like hell, like the worst place to do time.
Yeah.
Jesus. I try not to think about that, but this motherfucker might have to have his own podcast about that kind of shit.
Yeah, I'd rather not though, you feel me? I'd rather not. I'm trying to live in the world nowadays, man, because that shit, living in a box leaves you limited, institutionalized, and that's not the way that I'm trying to be no more. I'm trying to reassess it, like rebirth who I was into who I am now, because everything that I've learned in the last 10 years has literally changed who I thought I ever was. So like, it's like now I'm finally being myself, and I'm able to really kind of interpret that through the lyrics that I write nowadays and the concepts that I'm trying to come up with. And like even E-Fluent back in the day, I mean, he was always, you know, a huge inspiration to me, you know, and like even when we were writing together, he's like, yo, Frame, he's like, when are you gonna actually talk about your life? It's like, when are you gonna actually say some things that mean something, you know, and not just talk about, you know, and he wasn't hating because, you know, I'm just spitting. But like at the end of the day, he's right. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that come into the progression of being an artist to where, you know, you could talk your shit, but you're just gonna talk your shit forever? Or are you gonna actually progress into something that's better and more meaningful, things that people could relate to? And like, even if like, okay, this Killer Joe shit stuff, you know, this Killer Joe 2, it's very vulgar. It's very vulgar, but it's a beautiful thing. Because
I felt like it was a good way to get your feet wet again, you know?
But there's so many people that would like to be able to say those things that might not necessarily want to or are afraid to. But if that's a way that we can avenue people to like, I guess, vicariously have those thought processes, I mean, why not? That's a coping strategy.
I just thought it was a good way to get your feet wet again, to get you in
That
there.
too,
And
yes.
then we can get on some more serious shit.
Because I'm rusty as a motherfucker.
You know what I mean? And then
don't get it twisted.
I figure that's a good way to get you back in, and then we can talk about some more serious shit.
Facts.
Because in 2024, as far as projects, I have Broken Kings 3, my final joint with Recognize Real. Shout out to Recognize Real. I don't know if he's retiring or what. I don't want him to.
Such a legend, dude.
Don't never leave, brother. We love you too much.
Hashtag dopamine.
But if it is, then I want to make sure that's a real good one, and I'm gonna put Frame on some of that. And also, I really want to do my dream project with Mike the Martyr this year. He's one of my favorite producers of all time,
Yeah, he's
and
amazing.
rappers. And
Yes,
you know,
yes.
we'll have some of my favorite rappers on that joint. That's gonna be a big project for me. I really want that one I want to make that one special. So that's all I'm doing next year. And basically, I just want Frame to shine. I want to get it so that I want to put him in a position to where he come home and he can just start, you know, pick up right where he left off.
That's respect.
Basically, that's what I'm trying to do.
Are you guys open to any type of collaboration, or are you guys focused on like single projects right now?
Can I take this real quick? Yeah. So right now, because I just came home, I'm reaching out to everybody, man. Like at this fucking point, like I can write anything to any fucking beat, in any cadence, in any fucking singing quality, but I'm not on no arrogant shit. I'm not saying I'm better or worse, but I know that I'm capable of making everybody happy. And I'm trying to light a fire, man, like to where like, irregardless of whatever's going on in this city, I want to show everybody that I'm here to like reach out to you and to unify and to like bring things together, because there's so much talent out here. And right now I ain't got many producers, and it's kind of frustrating, especially because when there's only a few producers that have so much material, sometimes it gets difficult to actually have things for yourself personally, or even have a producer that's gonna personally work with you, that is gonna fuse with your chemistry. So if there is producers out there, please reach out to me. Shouts out to Perspective Prime. I'm coming for you, dog. You got some ill-ass beats, man. And I really want to work.
Who's that? Prime Mega?
It's Prime Mega, dude.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to him. I never heard his shit till the beat battle.
Definitely gonna get some both sides of the coin 3 on that.
When I heard him at the beat battle, I was like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? This is
Fire.
the nicest shit. And everybody's like, oh, you should have been knowing him. And I'm like, yeah, I should have been knowing him. Why the fuck didn't I know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly,
like,
it would surprise me that you didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I should have been working with this dude. Like,
Yeah.
I need to work with him. So shout to him. Somebody link us. I need that. I need that work.
But like, so a long time ago when I first met E-Fluent, shouts out to my cousin Josie.
Yeah, shout to Josie.
But Josie, he put me in a position at one point to where I could actually, I mean, I had my own equipment. I mean, it was on an iBook G4 MacBook that had a shortage in the fucking connection to the power cord, and very difficult to record, especially if it shut the fuck off and you didn't save it every 2 seconds. But I started
shit
working
was
on
so
that
ghetto.
shit, put a bandana over the performance microphone, not even a condensed one. And like he actually allowed me to start recording, and like I had a safe space to do it, and I was able to really become myself as an artist. I truly believe that. And when that happened, I listened to him the first time, and the one thing that stuck out to me, he said, "I don't even like you rappers." And I was like, this is exactly who I want to make music with. You know what I mean? Because neither do I. But I like a lot of rappers, but every rapper out here that I fuck with knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But like at the end of the day, like once I started working with him, it really showed me some structure. And because I'm a scatterbrain, you know, they call me Young Spaz, MyneFrame, all that. But like at the end of the day, like it really coached me into the person that I am now. And the first volume he did, Both Sides of the Coin 1, I was young. I was like 18, 19 years old, I think, when that first came out. And that was an incredible album. I mean, go get that. I mean, it might be old as fuck, but you better, you know, before you listen to it, accept the fact that it's a long time ago. It's not this modern shit with trap beats and shit that's gonna keep you on your toes with high technology assets to the situation. But like, it's real hip hop. It's real emotionally getting in your face and relating to you and trying to speak about things that most people are afraid of. And that's the one thing that I like to do as an artist mostly, is like really get shit off my chest. And when I seen him as an author of a writer, it really showed me the capabilities and how much more you could become as a person to portray who you are as a person, right? So Both Sides of the Coin 1, boom, did that. Shouts out to Mike Rifey and many other artists. I mean, Philippines, you know, all them people. Mike Rifey recorded Both Sides of the Coin 2, so that was another great album. And these Both Sides of the Coin volumes, man, each track you listen to, when you press skip, or if you want to listen to the next song, it's going to be a completely different thing, completely different vibe, completely different energy. And that's why, honestly, I'm really loving the fact that when Will Slater made that beat over Fever, and it was like so different, I was like, this is so Both Sides of the Coin 3.
Bro, I forgot how good those albums were because I've made a million albums since then.
Right.
And
you have.
He come back and he's like, yo, when I was locked up, I had every verse from both of us memorized, and I would rap that shit. And he started rapping my old shit from there. Bro, I was like, holy fuck, I was a savage.
Yeah, you
like
were.
Those.
You still are.
And he can rap both our verses on every song, word for word, on them tapes. Like, it's crazy.
Every time I got sent to isolation, every time I whoop somebody or spit on a chomo, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, I would be in that motherfucker with nothing, you know what I mean? And I'd be just rapping shit, writing shit. Most of the time, it'd be going back to the Both Sides of the Coin shit.
Yeah, bro.
Because that's what we perform so many shows.
He spits that shit ferociously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, it's a crazy reminder of how fucking good it was. It was high-level lyrical shit.
Right.
R.I.P. DJ Nizzle.
Yo, R.I.P.
Absolutely,
Man, I didn't
R.I.P.
even
DJ
know.
Nizzle.
Like, to be honest, it bothers me that I didn't know, but I didn't know anybody that he personally knew outside of his communication with him. And like, it makes me sad because until just recently, because I've been locked up for a while, but like at the end of the day, after I got out, and like just recently I was researching them because I was like listening to some old shit, and there's only a few songs that I ever put out, but it was under his shit on Reverb Nation. And I went on there and I looked it up, and I was like, I'm surprised that he hasn't continued to make new things. So I looked his name up on Facebook and a couple other places, and I found out that he passed away, rest in peace. But that man was truly like
He was
a
a good
huge
dude. That shit was
inspiration.
sad.
And he
He
spent
was
a
a
lot
good
of
guy.
time. And he's under DJ Kilo, which is under the Young Money organization. So like he had connections, and like for him to reach out to somebody as young as I was at the time, like 18, 19 years old, and to like let me come to his crib, and like he spoke so much true facts about what the industry may hold for you and the things you need to watch out for, because a lot of these young kids don't pay attention to that shit, man. Like, this world is a trap sometimes, man. It ain't no different than the hood. It's just political and intellectual and socially acceptable when you get to a certain degree. But don't get it twisted, you could get fucked the same way you do in a trap house. You know what I mean? So don't get that shit twisted, because you gotta always respect who you are as a person, as an artist, but also don't let people take things from you as an artist, you know, because that's who you are. And at the end of the day, that can ruin your trajectory in life. Don't let people create your trajectory. You create your trajectory and you follow your heart. You know what I mean?
He was a good cat, man. And he hosted Both Sides of the Coin 1 or something?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, he was a good dude.
He was, man.
Hold on 1 second. How do you outdo all the masterpieces that came beforehand and like try to repeat the question in a way? So how do you stay sharp?
You can ask him first, because my answer isn't going to be very good. Like, it's not going to be very inspirational.
So basically, I guess for me, I'm OCD. I mean, it's what it comes down to. I'm OCD. So like all I do is when I hear a fucking song, I mean, we got songs on Both Sides of the Coin 1. When I hear a song, what is that one song? I can't even repeat the lyrics right now. I mean, I can usually, but like right now, I'm just not trying to. But like that song conceptually was about how artists will constantly replay their music after it's recorded, you know? And like, that's who we are. Like, we're obsessed with becoming better, becoming a person that's going to break through barriers, through ceilings constantly, because to stay stagnant is like, it's a no-no. I mean, from the culture that we were raised upon, originality was key. Maybe that's not necessarily what's going on in society now. Now it seems like a lot of regurgitation, a lot of the same thing being, you know, disposed differently, but similar. And like, you know, E40, like all these other people, like I feel like you gotta be original. You gotta do something that's different. And to a lot of people, that's scary, because people just wanna, a lot of the times nowadays, make money off this shit or do this or that, or just be popular, get some pussy, whatever, dude. But listen, like for you to regurgitate somebody to a degree that you're not even yourself, like that's the problem. And I feel like the true artist that's out there, like me, him, a lot of people in the city that we're from, like we have to constantly battle ourselves. You know, that's number one. We're battling ourselves. We can compete and be competitors, but at the end of the day, competing with ourselves is the biggest battle. And so like every time we make a song, we will go through it, we will reevaluate, we can see what we could have done better, what we couldn't have done better, but we appreciate our product irregardless. But there comes a time where, you know, after all that's processed to a certain degree, I feel like we start to see what other direction we can go in and how we could top that in another way. But it's not easy. I mean, as an artist, when you put everything that you got into something and you don't know how you could top it, that's part of the competition with yourself as an artist. So like you have to really try to find a way to fight yourself. And that's the biggest battle in this world for anybody, whether it's music or whatever the fuck you're doing in life. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's how I stay sharp. Ultimately is my OCD, memorizing my shit, pushing myself past limits to where I can continuously become a better artist.
So for me, I feel like there's two kind of artists that I respect. We'll just keep it in the town. So there's like Tone Chops and then there's me. This is how I'm gonna explain it.
Facts.
Tone Chop's like a boxer. Like he comes out, I feel like he wakes up rapping in the mirror, brushing his teeth. He fucking round after round, he's out there, he's rapping. He keeps his shit sharp off the top, whatever, everything. He's that kind of rapper. He eats it, he breathes it, he lives it. That's him. He's that kind of rapper. Then you got motherfuckers like me, and I'm not that kind of rapper. As far as me, I'm more project oriented. I won't rap. I'll go fucking weeks without rapping, weeks without writing, all that shit. Mainly just because I have to fucking live and chase a dollar and constantly be hustling so that I can live good. And so I don't have time to rap like I used to when I was a kid, and literally all I did was rap and fucking fuck off, you know? I don't have time to rap like that, so what I do is I just focus on a project. I don't even really do miscellaneous songs, really. Like,
right.
I'll sit around for a little while, and then honestly, for the last decade, I've been trying to take a break from rap, but like, whenever I get my shit done, someone else always hits me up. A producer always hits me, yo, E, let's do a project, yo, E. And I swear to God, for 10 years straight, I've been booked. You can ask Movie Mike.
That's true. I lived with you, bro. I know.
He knows, like, so I never get a break. So, like, for me, it's all about just coming up with a good concept for the project.
Yeah.
So I'll know that I got something that I need to do, and I won't even, like, I'll just put it off to the side. And then in my fucking crazy brain, I'll be like, yo, I gotta get this done now. It's been a couple months. Producer's probably getting a little antsy, da-da-da. Let me take one day of the week, because I don't got fucking time like that. The older you get, the more busy you are, you realize that time is the most fucking valuable thing you have. It's the most precious. So, like, bro, I would not suggest anybody to do it like I do it. I would suggest you know what I mean, go over your shit, practice your shit, all this shit. But me, I'm a little different. I've been doing it forever. So, like, I know, okay.
One Take Joe.
This Monday, I'll have 3 hours that I can set aside, and I have to work on this project. Matter of fact, I have to knock out half the motherfucker at least. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'll sit down and fucking just make myself do it. And if I'm not feeling it, then I'll stop and, you know, do it a different day.
Discipline.
But 9 times out of 10, I get that shit fucking done, and then shit just starts clicking. Once it starts going, it's like a snowball effect. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I start getting one song done, and ooh, I got an idea for a fucking vocal sample in here. I can use this movie, use this scene, and that sparks some other shit. And you know what I mean? I just get my shit done. So with me, I don't think anybody else really works like I do. It's a little different, but I just know that I have to get it done, and I just do it. It's execution.
You know what's funny to me is I feel like I can literally, I mean, obviously he's telling the truth, but I could co-sign because I lived with him. And like literally this motherfucker would be in his room like a college fucking student just making projects and classics and like, and he would, like, the crazy thing about this motherfucker right here, he could write some shit and go in that bitch One Take Joe for real. He ain't even, that is no cap, that is no lie on that shit. Like and if he don't do it, half the time he ain't even probably gonna fuck with that song.
It's like, crazy. It's crazy too. Like, I had a girl, I've been in relationships during this shit. Like, my last girl lived with me for 4 or 5 years. Like, you know, you can't fucking just work on music all day if you got a broad living. You know, you gotta take care of your broad and shit like that.
It's like playing video games or some shit. You know?
She, like, you could even, if you asked her, she'll tell you, like, that shit didn't even take up none of her time with me. You know what I mean? Like, somehow I compartmentalize. I'm real good at that.
You're an executioner.
If you're good at compartmentalizing and just taking care of shit, you can still knock out what do I do? Usually 3 to 4 projects a year. You know
it's discipline, I think, at the end of the day. And that's one thing that you've taught me, man. Is like, for me, I'm such a scatter fucking brain, but like I could write a song, but after seeing him just discipline, like get shit done, like his whole career, I mean, he's definitely up there when it comes to catalogs. I mean, Tone Chop, him, a lot of other people. I mean, there's a few people in this fucking area that have a serious fucking catalog.
Yeah,
and
it's like whenever me and Chop drop a project, it's always bootlegged all over the internet. You can just Google, you know what I mean? That has to mean that people fuck with us. Whenever I press CDs up, nobody in town buys the shit.
Right.
But I sell them shits in Germany and France and fucking Poland, all around Europe, you know what I mean? So obviously people fuck with us. Like
Absolutely.
Our catalogs speak for themselves, and it's not like we might not be popping out here. We don't make the flavor of the month shit. We make that real shit that stands the test of time.
Thanks.
And I think personally, my album that I made with Tone Chop, 6 So Lucky's Most, is the best Binghamton hip hop album of all time. Personally,
honestly, I love that fucking album.
That's my opinion. I know everybody's got their own opinion, but tell me one that's better, and we'll go track for track.
What's that fucking song where you're speaking out on a lot of like streets out here? What's that song? Product of Me?
Yeah, Product of Me, yeah.
That song right there, bro. If you from this fucking area, you need to listen to that goddamn song if you really in any kind of life for real. But I mean, even if you're from here and you know you're familiar with the street names, you're gonna be like, oh, that's my city. You know what I mean?
That
like
project really just that's
fucking fire, bro.
That 607 shit, like that's what it embodies it. I feel like it's a good if you look at 607 Hip Hop, that's an album that you could be like, okay.
Fucking absolutely.
These motherfuckers are
And
nice.
it's produced by Tone Chop. That's
what I'm saying.
A huge pioneer of production, even just simply, but as well as his music, but his production. And for you to get on that shit and speak the way you did, like I know he can contest. Like that shit is a beautiful project.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to Tone Chop, he's always like, that is a banger.
I suggest everybody listen to that if you never heard it. 60 Lucky's Most, E-Fluent, Tone Chop. Very good one. And you know, I don't push my back catalog all the time because I always got projects coming out. But that one is like a classic, man. And hopefully someday it'll get the respect it deserves.
It will.
Cause you know what I mean? It was a serious moment. The first track, I addressed all kind of shit, man. Like it's some real shit for me to get off my chest and just, it was a real album, man. Real fucking good one. As far as Chop and Frost Gamble, when they work together, it's usually Frost Gamble makes the beat and Chop raps on it.
That's true. So, shouts out to both of them as producers, first of all. Second of all, yeah, Frost Gamble on the beat, Devastating Schemes. It starts off with Tone Chop killing the shit, E-Fluent killing the shit, and then I end it off. You know what I mean? So it's on every platform right now.
Yeah, you've been promoting that.
Anything you can find, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music, everything. And I will say I've been promoting the fuck out of it, like you said. And so is Tone Chop and so is Frost Gamble. And it's on like DJs are putting it out there, fucking radio stations, everything right now. So you guys need to check that shit out because it's fire. If you have me on Facebook, my name is MyneFrame, MyneFrame. If you look that up, it'll be pinned on my Facebook. It's on my TikTok. Anywhere you can look for it, you can find it. So, you know, definitely check that out because it's doing really, really well right now. And it just came out, so.
And also, I gotta shout out Will Slater and his Seriously Dope series.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
Movie Mike and me went down to New York City and we ended up going to Quad Studios for the day, and we shot a video there. Well, we shot the whole process of going there, meeting some rappers that I never met before. Will makes the beat on the spot, and we write our verses and rap. It's like a whole, it's this little series he has called Seriously Dope. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
So that should be coming out soon, right around the time that this podcast comes out. That will be out probably a week or so later. I think it's coming out on Christmas. So
Merry Christmas,
look forward to that. It's cool to watch the process. It was a good time we had there. You know, Quad's a legendary place.
Yeah, tell me about that. Like I heard some of the history, but what's up with Quad Studios?
You know, Quad Studios right downtown Times Square, Manhattan shit, right in the middle of everything. You know, Tupac got shot there in the elevator. That was that studio.
They still got bullet holes in the elevator?
That's what it looked like. I don't fucking know.
That's what I heard.
But, yeah. But it's just a classic studio, you know. People have made albums there that went on to sell 10 million, Mariah Carey, shit like that. The Belly soundtrack was made there, which was my favorite movie. You know, just a bunch of shit. So it was a good time to go down there. And Will Slater's a good dude, so anytime he needs help with any kind of fucking series that he has going, I'll always, you know, he reaches out to me, whatever he needs.
Absolutely.
No questions asked. Now, in the future, coming up when we do other episodes, it ain't always gonna be just, what I'm doing musically. I got a lot of things to say. I got some bones to pick. I got issues.
He's got stories to tell.
I got stories as well. So, you know, every now and then, every week or two, we'll tell a story. You know, story time with Uncle Joe.
You got a story to tell about Uncle Joe, dude.
Degenerate Joe's story hour, something like that. And, you know, I won't, you know, blow anybody's spot up with names. I'll make the names up if I have to, change the names. But I got real stories that motherfucker, you know, I'll have a few scotches and we'll really kick it up a notch. So I appreciate everybody for coming through for the first one and just checking out what we got going on. And I hope that you come back. Let me think. My Instagram is Real E-Fluent. My Twitter is E-Fluent. And that's the only two things I use. What about you?
TikTok is at MyneFrame, MyneFrame. On Instagram, it's Frame of Mine, with the mine being MYNE. Facebook, same dynamic of spelling. So if you look me up anywhere, you're gonna find me. Same with this man right here, except for he's more low key with the social media platforms, but he's on every platform when it comes to selling
if you
music.
Google E-Fluent, you can find my music.
But he's on
everywhere.
every platform if you sell music. You know what I mean? Apple, Spotify, all that shit.
it's
You can
all
find
over.
many albums.
It's all over.
We gonna make this shit happen this year. The end of this year, man. The end of this year is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of next year and the rest of the year is gonna be nuts. It's gonna get more progressively crazy.
Yeah.
So
it is.
just stay fucking tuned, man. Merry fucking Christmas and Happy New Year. You feel me?
Absolutely.
On some fucking Home Alone shit, you know?
Absolutely.
Whatever.
We'll be back soon.
Whatever.
Peace.
Boys keep knocking at the door, then I'm gone. Noise keeps rocking through the floor, it's the song. News keeps talking, we at war like it's on then. I'm on another hunt, the act of it is such a rush.